Hey there, how are you doing? Team Nokia Power is here, and in this tutorial, we will tell you how to fix or how to solve the apps related issues that you face on Nokia Android smartphones. So usually, Android apps work very fine on Nokia Android smartphones, but I mean it's always a possibility that there may be some apps which may give you some kind of headache, and especially some third-party apps. So if they are not well optimized, some update goes wrong, and there may be endless reasons for which at times you can face such kind of issues. If you don't face such kind of issues or like any app issues, then you are really happy, you should be happy. But if you face, then you should focus here, and you can go through all the steps that we will talk about, or we will tell you when you face any issue with any of the app. So let's say if you're facing issue with this Twitter app, so what you will do, if your Twitter app is not opening or giving you some kind of issue, so all you need to do is to go to settings, go to apps and notifications, go to app info. Now go to the app which is giving you issues. So when I talk about apps issues, there may be many, but there are a few common issues like your app has stopped. Then there may be this error that you see, disable, I mean, force stop or like disable app or stop the app when it it crashes. So let's say some app crashes and you get this message saying that disable the app or stop the app, or you can just get this issue, your app has stopped. So these kind of issues are like very common, or maybe like you have got an update to some app and the app has started launching slow, it has started giving many issues, it has started crashing. So all these kind of issues can happen. So this tutorial will take you through simple steps which can help you immensely in resolving such kind of issues which are related to apps on Nokia Android phones or any other Android phone basically. So let's say if I go to Twitter now, the Twitter is, let's say, one of the app or which is giving me issue. So now I'll go to the settings, apps and notification, as I said you earlier, told you earlier. So again, let's quickly kind of, for giving you a coherent idea, how we will go through this. So we will go to the settings, we go to apps and notifications, we go to app info. Now in app info, we go to the app which is giving us issues. So Twitter. Now here we will go to storage. If the app is giving you issue and it was not happening earlier, the first thing you are going to do is to clear cache. Clearing cache clears all the kind of temporary files or cache which the app has stored on your device, so that I mean the actions or when you interact with the app, it becomes faster. So we'll clear that. Many times what happens is that the old cache remains and it starts giving you an issue. So it's better to clear the cache first and check the app. So now clear the cache has been cleared. You see the cache is 0. You go back, you launch the app, and you will see that it's fine. The app is now opening. Okay, so we'll say that my troubleshooting has worked. Let's say that even after clearing the cache did not work, you will go back to settings. What you will do next is to clear the data. Clearing data clears everything. It even clears the permissions, and it's like your device will become like a newly installed application. So this application is where you have cleared the cache and cleared the data. It's like a newly implemented or newly installed application. Let's go back and check. So now if we go back to the Twitter and open launch it, when it now launches, it will ask for permissions because you have cleared the permissions as well. So just like a newly installed application. Now it should work fine. Let's say even if it does not work fine now you go back to settings again. You can now notice or try to see whether the storage used is internal shared or SD card. So many of the apps, like one of the example is Twitter, they don't work really well on SD card unless it's very fast. So if you have a latest SD card with just like 10 category 10 speed, you just one, so maybe that works fine here. If even on that SD card it does not work fine, it's always recommended to change the storage to the internal shared storage. I mean, I'll tell you that most of the apps, so 80-90% of the apps work fine if you have a fast card, but some of the apps like Twitter sometimes give you issue. So if you have Twitter installed on your SD card, it's better to move it to storage like internal share. So let's quickly change the storage to SD card here to see what happens. So I will change it to SD card. So you will quickly see what is the difference a simple move from SD card to internal shared storage makes. So as I told you, it's not with most of the apps. Most of the apps, they work fine from SD card memory too, but some of the apps like Twitter, they can give you headaches. So I'm just trying to give an example to you so that you understand it. So now it has moved. So let's quickly go back and launch the Twitter app. And you can notice that it's taking longer than it took when it was in internal shared storage already. So that tells you that the app may not work as good as it was on internal shared or the internal storage. So now it has opened, but very slow. If I now go back and move it to, now if I move it to the internal shared storage, so what will happen? So now it has moved, and you see it's moved very quickly. So now I'll go back, I will launch the Twitter, and now you will notice how quickly it has launched. So that is the difference. So for some of the apps, when the clearing cache or clearing data does not fix the issue, you can try this. If it is on SD card, move it to the internal shared storage. But now let's say that if it was already on internal shared storage, so let's say this app was already internal shared storage, we were still facing an issue, and let's say if the issue started when okay, with the issue started when you had this kind of like it got an update or something like that. So there is another way to fix that kind of issues. So what we were talking about is to see what can be the another way. So let's say if you have started facing issue with your app after receiving an update, what you can do is to just go to the app, and like here, if you tab, you will see uninstall updates option. So if I go to this app, I can see this app option, uninstall updates. So it if it has received received a recent update, so you can uninstall it and it can fix the issue that you started facing. I mean, if it's a new issue, if you have started facing the issue after some update of the app. So these are the four ways which actually helps you. So as I told, I will just repeat once more. So if you go to storage, clear cache, clear data, and if the app is on SD card, you should move it to internal storage. These are three steps. If those three steps did not work for you, and in case you have received an update of the app, so you can just go back and you can uninstall update. So how you uninstall the update? You go to the app and you can see here the option uninstall update. So these are the four things. If this did not solve your issue, you can try to contact the developer of the app by going to the Google Play Store. So you go to the Google Play Store and you can just contact that developer. So you can kind of leave anything, reviews or something, so that, or you can just contact the developer by sending the email, etc. So that is the way to do it. Even if the developer does not respond and the app is not, issue does not go away, you can just uninstall the app. That is the last thing that you can do. So this is how you solve the issue that you face with the apps on your Nokia Android smartphone. Hope you have liked this video useful. Stay tuned for more as we cover more on Nokia Power User and Nokia Power User YouTube channel. Thanks for watching.